Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Dispatch. Once again, this is not my video, so this is made by MK Ice and Fire. So go check out this video if you're interested in watching the game. I'm just using it as background and I've not put any audio on this time because there's a lot of swearing in this game and I don't want it to get flagged by YouTube, considering I wasn't on good terms with them briefly. So let me explain quickly. I made a video about a week ago, which is why my channel got struck down, which is why I've not uploaded in a week. So what happened was I made a tutorial video on Minecraft Story Mode for PC because obviously it's not available anymore, and I wanted to give people a chance to play it again, because realistically I don't consider it piracy, considering the game is really hard to come by unless you get a physical copy, and even then that they're still really hard to get basically, or they're so expensive you can't really do anything with them, or like to get them. And so I decided that I was going to do a PC method for you guys. Unfortunately, because they didn't like me for doing that, they struck my video down. So I tried editing it, making out, and then re-uploading it. However, they then gave me a strike after about 10 minutes. So yeah, that is why I have not uploaded in a week. I was actually going to upload because obviously I still need to get through Lego Batman 2, and I'm only on level 6 at the moment, which is level 6 is the last level I need to, or the level I'm about to do with it. And obviously I've only really got just over a month, I would say, until Lego Batman The Legacy of the Dark Knight comes out, so I need to get through Lego Batman 2 and 3 as quickly as possible. And to be honest, I've been waiting on my new controller, and my external hard drive completely broke. So I had to wait for that, and that took 14 days to turn up. And I've only just gotten to a place now where all the games have downloaded. So yeah, I do apologise for not uploading. I was actually, if YouTube was going to keep me banned, I was going to continue doing my videos anyway, if that makes sense, and then just upload them when the ban's been lifted. It said 2 weeks, but it's been gone after a week, so I just got to do everything I can right now not to piss YouTube off. I did try and appeal it, like saying like the game's not available anymore. I wouldn't even condone it as piracy if you can barely get the game anywhere, but they denied the appeal, which is sad actually, because I wanted to give you guys a chance to play it again. So yeah, unfortunately that video won't be coming. I'll see what I can do eventually, but right now I'm just trying to stay on YouTube's good side so I can at least get my videos out, and that sort of thing. However, that's not what we're here for today. We're here to talk about Dispatch. So, I had not played this game till 2 days ago. So here's the thing about Dispatch. I saw when it came out that it was a very popular game, and I knew I was going to get round to it eventually, but I never had played it before. Like, I've had the house to myself this week, and I just thought, you know what, I really want to give Dispatch a go. Like, yesterday I was just thinking, you know what, it's in my library, all my games are downloaded again. It would be cool if I gave Dispatch a go, considering I watched a load of streamers play it before. And it looked like a good game. And I was going into this with, I'm not going to say high hopes or low hopes, just mid. I was just kind of mid about the game. I actually have it, I started playing on the Switch 2 a few days ago, but I kind of wanted the full experience, if that makes sense, with like no limitations on, I'm sure you get what I mean, but like no, just like have all the like nudity on and the swearing on and all of that. And because of Nintendo's policies to games, I just knew that there was going to be an issue with that. So I just was like, nah, I got it. I had it on PC before getting it on Switch 2. I just never played it. So, what do I think about the game? Absolutely amazing. I think the game, it really kept me enticed and wanting me to come back for more for all 8 episodes. So we had episodes 1 to 8. So let's just talk about the good things. The characters, you could actually feel for them. You could actually build connections, and they are actually worth it, in a sense, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I felt like there was a lot of good connections. You could choose who you go out with or who you fall in love with. You could choose... Well, it was only really between 2 characters, which is Invisigirl and Blonde Blazer. My decisions ended up with Blonde Blazer because, I'm not going to lie to you, I much prefer blondes over Invisigirl. Like, don't get me wrong, I still find Invisigirl attractive, but... the end of the day, Blonde Blazer was it for me. And to be honest, I'm actually kind of surprised because everyone that it tells you the decisions at the end of each episode, and it's like less than half of the people went with Blonde Blazer, and they mostly went with Invisigirl. I can see why. I can see the appeal. Don't get me wrong, but at the end of the day, it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but yeah, I like Blonde Blazer, and I went with her. So yeah. Don't get me wrong, I still mentored Invisigirl and things actually turned out alright in the end. Next is the growth of the game and the speeding of the game was really good. I thought the game was absolutely incredible. Do I have my nitpicks with it? Of course. Most games always have issues with it. They're not really relevant, so I'm not going to go into them that much. I just felt sometimes the pacing of the story was a bit too fast, or there wasn't enough to do in the game. I get that the point of it is that it's more of a interactive story, like Minecraft story mode. But then you've also got the dispatching aspect of it, where you've got to send heroes in, depending on their stats and things like that. But yeah, I felt for most of the characters, and I was very interested in being part of this game, and I genuinely thought that it was a great story, and there was a lot of emotional scenes, and you could actually feel the emotions with the characters, and you actually want to be you feel like you are the character, and I feel like that's a really good thing to have in games like this, especially. The main problem, though, that I'm going to say with these games, especially like Telltale games like Minecraft Story Mode, and that's not just going for this, but like Minecraft Story Mode, Batman the Telltale series, Batman the Enemy Within, The Wolf Among Us, and all of that, is the replayability. They don't really have replayability, because then it's like once you've played it once, it's in your head now, and it's like, sure, you can go back for it for the achievements or whatever, which I'm considering doing for Dispatch, but the problem I have is with this, not with any game, is like it's just like I will not be able to play a game like this for a long time. And what I mean by that is I will not be able to play Dispatch again for at least another 2 years or something like that at minimum, before even though I'll have like a memory of the game, I will forget it a lot. I'll forget more of it than if that makes sense. Like, I'll forget more about it because then it's been so long, then it would have slipped in the back of my brain, and I'm sure you get what I mean with that. But yeah, I felt the game was really well made, really well built, and it really kept you invested. However, the one problem that I will say is the length. the length specifically is a problem. So I paid full price for this game, right? And the problem is I feel like the price is a bit too high for what we got. Like, I was honestly expecting each episode to be an hour and a half, 2 hours, because I know this wasn't made by Telltale, but like Minecraft Story Mode was, let's say, 2 hours. Like, the first episode is around an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours. Like, it always varies between an hour and a half to 2 hours. Whereas I like the first episode. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed playing the first episode of Dispatch, but it was kind of like I got through it so quickly. Like, I thought, oh right, I'm going to have a nice time, get into the story, have a nice introduction to the entire game, you know, that sort of thing. And sure, we got that, but it was a very short story. Like, I beat the game in under 6 hours, and I've literally played it for the past 2 days. So I didn't start playing until 10 p.m. last night, and I stopped playing about 1 a.m. or something like that. And I did the first 4 episodes, so that was about 3 hours. And then today I played another 2.5 hours or so, and I beat the last 4 episodes. Like, it's not that hard to complete the game, which is a big problem. And that is literally the main nitpick I have from this game. I was expecting at least the first episode to be an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's partly what made Minecraft Story Mode a fun game for me to play, because I would have enough after playing 1 episode, or even potentially 2. And then I'll have enough, and then I'll come back to it in a few days or a week when I feel like I want to get back into that story-based game again. Because then I can focus, you know, that sort of thing. However, with this game... Sorry, my voice randomly cracked, and I've been having that a bit lately. But it's just been this thing, right, of... I really enjoyed this game. And the problem with this game is you always want more. And that's always the issue with games like this. The only game that I can make an exception for that has replayability, and it's a game like this, is Detroit Become Human. Because Detroit Become Human has so many endings, so many different things you can do, you know, that sort of thing. And it's just like, there's so much you can do. There's never, like, you can never get bored, if that makes sense. It's just, there's just so much you can do in the game that even eventually, once you've gotten all the endings, you can come back eventually and do it again, or something like that. But yeah. The length of this game is way too short, personally. That's my opinion on it. Don't get me wrong. For what it is, the game is really good. I do really enjoy the game. However, like, I get through it so quickly. Like, the first episode, you basically go into the game, spoilers, but I'm sure you've played it if you're watching this video. The first episode, you literally fight Shrouds. It shows you more like the quick time mechanics and things like that for the game, for future fights and things. And then all you get after that is Blonde Blazer helps you out after your suit gets destroyed, after you talk to Shroud, and then she takes you to a bar. And then once you get taken to a bar, I know I'm leaving a few things out, but I'm just skimming over like it. She takes you to a bar, and then after you get taken to a bar, she then takes you to this sign or billboard where you then have to do a training of a dispatch. And then once you've done training of a dispatch, that's literally the end of the episode. And it took me 30 whole minutes to complete that entire thing. So yeah, it was not long at all. I was expecting a lot more of a longer game. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I love the game, but I do feel it's kind of just too short. I would much rather had more episodes. That I would say if they added 16 episodes instead of 8, that would have made the game more acceptable. Or they could have just made the episodes longer. That's my nitpicks about the game, really. Like, I like the characters, I like the decisions, and the decisions you have actually impact the story, unlike games like Minecraft Story Mode or, you know, Batman, the Telltale series. At the end of the day, you would still get, like, you know, you would still kind of get the same ending no matter what choices you make. However, this game still does matter with things like that. I like the idea of you having your own team. Nothing really changes with that. It's kind of like a very steady paced game where you can make some decisions and different things happen. Like, you can choose whether to have Phenomenon on the team, or you can have Waterboy on the team. And I chose Phenomenon personally because he's just stronger, faster, better, and he can help with dispatching more. So it does make you use your brain as well, like what heroes would be best for the job. However, I still do have sometimes potential issues, like it doesn't show you what the best heroes would be for the job. So realistically, you kind of just have to, you know, put as many heroes as you can at sometimes to like fill the entire chart so that you can just like get most likely of a success. At least that's what I did anyway. But yeah, just the length really that I had an issue with. I just felt the game was way too short, and I remember playing it last night and me thinking, oh, like, I got through the first episode and I was literally like, is that it? Like, I stopped on the Switch too, because the problem I have with games like this is the fact that you have to give it your full attention. It's not like one of those games where you can have something on in the background or something like that. It's like one of those games where you have to really put your headphones on and keep an eye on the game, or otherwise you'll miss something. You can miss decisions, quick time events, and it's just like, you don't really want to be in that position. So whenever I play these games, I have to take that into consideration and just spend time playing the game. So I played till about 1:30 in the morning last night, and then I was getting tired, and I was like, you know, I do want to continue with this game because I was really into it, but at the same time, I just couldn't anymore because I was getting tired and I knew I needed to sleep. And then I got up today, then I watched the new episode of The Boys and the finale of Invincible, season 4. So, am I enjoying, did I enjoy this game? 100%. I feel like it's definitely worth, like, playing. However, the one thing I will say is, I bought the game at full price, which is almost like 30 UK pounds. I'm sorry, like, as much as I love this game, and I know people might hate me for this or disagree with me on this, I do feel like it was not worth the money. And what I meant by that is, once again, it comes down to the length of the game. Like, if the game was a lot longer, then sure, I wouldn't have an issue with it. But it's like, that it's just over too quickly. Like, if I can get through this game within 5 to 6 hours, it's not long enough. Like, I know there's very few perfect games out there, and believe me, there is, but this is the main issue that I have with these games, which is a bit of an annoyance. Is just like, once you play it once, you just don't want to go back to it, because then it's like, you've already done it. So unless you're like a perfectionist and you want to get all the achievements, sure, but even then, once you've done that, the chances of you coming back to this game are very slim. Like, everyone that I saw, you know, play the game previously, they've never gone back to play it again. Like, I remember watching streamers as this game came out, and everyone was playing it. Sorry. But everyone was playing it, and I was just like, wow, this looks like a fun game. So I bought it, but I never played it, and I hadn't played it in like 4 or 5 months, like since the game's release. And the reason for that is not because by any means I dislike the game. I just have been doing other games, and I've not really been interested in playing Dispatch as of like, it's not been the highest. It's not been my main priority of games that I want to play. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Dispatch. Do I think the game is definitely available? Should be worth pick up? Of course I do. I would just say get the game on sale though, because I just think, like I said, that the game is not really worth it at full price. And then if you're getting a deluxe edition, all you get out of it is some pictures, which I think is also a bit of a waste of money and a money grab. Like, why would you want to spend more money on a game just for pictures? Like, that kind of reminds me of like Gotham Knights, like or Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, where they charge you more money, often by like 30 UK pounds, to get the deluxe edition of something, but then you literally just get some skins out of it, which then you don't end up using, because in Gotham Knights you need to keep leveling up, and leveling up means more skins. So essentially you'll use those skins for like 20-30 minutes in the gameplay, and then you just move on. That's just how it is. And I just felt like that's kind of the same with this. Like, the add-on content isn't really anything. Like, imagine like if they had the DLC and it was actually like another or like another pack where you either play as someone else, or you even play like a prequel sort of thing, like where you play as Blonde Blazer or something, or Phenomenon before they became, great superheroes, or or how they became part of the company. That would be like a really cool DLC thing to have. But I just felt like them adding like pictures, really. I'm sorry, but that's just a bit lazy to me. And it does cost more. It costs like an extra tenner for the upgrade on Steam, and I'm just like, no, like, I'm not paying for that. I'm sorry, but that's just not what I want to do. Maybe that's just my opinion, but still. Like I said, you should definitely pick the game up. If it's on PlayStation, it's on Switch 2, and it's on PC. I don't know about Xbox, because I've never seen it on Xbox, but that could just be me. But when I looked it up online, it only said it was on PC, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch 2. But we'll see. I'll have to do some research on that. But I don't even have an Xbox, like a later one. I have an Xbox 360, a modded one. So yeah, I don't think there's a point in me getting an Xbox Series S/X, because I have a PS5. And the only reason I bought a Switch 2 was because Switch 2 is actually worth buying a next-gen thing. What I mean by that is, it's not one of those consoles that just has every single game that's on the PlayStation and Xbox. So it's just kind of like, it has its own thing. Like, sure, it has a couple of games like Dispatch and things like that, but it doesn't have, like, it's more Nintendo-based. So, like, you can only play Nintendo games on, a Switch 2. So, like, you can't play Tomodachi Life Living the Dream on PC unless you emulate the game, or you can't play it on PlayStation, or you can't play it on Xbox. So it's kind of like, yeah, that's just it, really. So it's like, I always thought, I want the upgrade because I know what I would want from the Switch 2. Like, I wanted Mario Kart World, and then there was a couple of other things that I wanted. But yeah, honestly, I just think the best thing to do, really, is to pick up the game when it's on sale. You're going to have a blast with it, you're going to get into it, and that's exactly what I did. But at the end of the day, like I said, there's not much replayability, so I'm never going to come back to this for a while, probably. But I mean, there is no perfect game out there, but there is one that's very close, and that is Minecraft. And the only reason I say Minecraft is nearly a perfect game, because it's super unexpected. You can do what you like in Minecraft, right? You can build, you can destroy, you can kill mobs, you can survive, you can kill the Ender Dragon, the Wither, and even though it's been God knows how long, like 2009, right? That's like, I don't know exactly how long that is, but sorry, I'm not really good like that. I'm going to say like 14, 15 years since Minecraft's come out, and it's still going strong. That clearly shows that Minecraft is like up there. And don't get me wrong, like, I don't play Minecraft as often as I used to. My favourite version of Minecraft is the Xbox 360 edition, and I have mentioned that before, so yeah. However, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about this. I just wanted to explain my thoughts on Dispatch and whether I like recommend it or not. Like I said, if I had to rate the game out of 10, I would give the game, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Like, the only 2 points that are really weighing it down is the length of the game. So, yeah, that's really my own main nitpick with the game. It's just too short. But, you know, I'm sure it'll be fine. Maybe if they might even make a Dispatch 2. You never know. But yeah, honestly, if I had a game my way, I would either have liked them to make the episodes at least an hour and a half, and or double the episodes, so there was like 16 of them. And even if like there was like, yeah, I'm not expecting them to like bring the story out like longer. I'm suggesting like they could have made this whole bit here the first arc of the game, and then you could have maybe like had a second part of the game where you're either focusing more on relationships or things like that, or it could have been like an entirely new villain, and you could have just had like 8 episodes more of that. But I do feel like the game has just kind of been here, done its thing, and then it's just like, that's it, which I think is a bit of a bad thing when it comes to these sorts of games, which is a problem when just making story-based games in general. It's just kind of like, well, I've played it now, there's nothing else to do, I'm going to move on, if you get what I mean. So it's just that. So yeah, I mean, I personally just think I'll come back to it one day because it's on my Steam library and I'll see it again, and then I'll be like, that's it. You know, I've played it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this game, let's play it again. But it's just like, no matter how many times you create a game like this, it will become stale eventually, because you've played it once, right? Then there's just nothing to come back to. It's just like, you've seen all the dialogue, you've seen all the cutscenes, but at the end of the day, I do love the game, and I do think it deserves like the love it got. But once again, it did just prove my point of, like, it was popular at first, and then afterwards it just became like, once I saw like the people playing it, they completed the game and said, oh yeah, this was a great game, blah 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 blah, and then that was it. Like, they never spoke about it again. I've never seen my streamer friends play it again. It's just like, it just kind of fell off. So yeah, I'm not blaming anyone for like who made the game. They were amazing. I just think it's in general a problem with games like this, like where it can just kind of like end. You know what I mean? It's just like once you've done it, it's just over. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, I love this game by any means, and um, I do wish people to play it. But like I said, just be warned, once you've paid for it and you've played it once, um, it's just over. So just take that into consideration when playing this game. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the case with anyone's game. You know what I mean? Like, we have Minecraft Story Mode, Batman, and I've not really gone back to play those games as of much. Like, I played Batman, the Telltale series, and I've played that like twice, and I've played Minecraft Story Mode about 3 different times, because I played it on the Wii U, then I played it on the Xbox 360, and then I played it on the PlayStation, and then I've also played it on my Switch. Even then, I've still not completed the Switch version of this game. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me ramble about this. I appreciate you all, and I love you all, and I hope you're doing all well. And if you do enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and comment if you're new. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.